Well, we decided to come out here and fish the bay today. We got up early this morning, and the forecast went from like 1.7 feet to 6 seconds to 4.9 feet in the afternoon, and I was like, "Oh, son of a biscuit!" I was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna go deal with that." So we decided to fish in the bay. Get to the first spot. This is a spot that I actually have called Red Snapper Ledge. First couple baits down, Tony gets railed, Chad catches a gag, then Chad gets railed, broke off, he shut down the bite. You have anything to say about that, Chad?
What's the Friday fishing forecast say for today, Tony?
Hey, I can't help that it changes. I'm not the weatherman.
I don't know about that. Somebody said in the Friday fishing forecast it's going to be a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. It's just not offshore.
See how I diverted it?
Yeah, I saw that. So we're gonna try our luck in the bay. Of course, we've got thousands of spots to choose from, so we'll
The evidence is on film.
Since this one sucks, probably try the next one.
well, we can't help that you shut down the bite. Ooh!
I did
what?
The camera got whacked.
I did what? Rape.
And like Chad broke off.
Ooh, got a digger.
This is weird.
It's a digger.
Big old mangroves.
I don't know about big old, but
Well,
nice ones for the bay.
For the bay.
Baby.
Back in the day, we'd been
Oh,
excited.
come on, Chad. Don't be
Hey!
Well, I mean, it's not a 20-incher, but
No.
Yeah, but I can throw a rock and hit that building.
I told you they were snapper down
Don't
there.
take me long. Let me get my scissors out and pick this bait up.
There's a bucket full of cut bait back here, Tony.
hey, might have been surprising.
Now, folks, I'm actually using a 2-ounce Huggy because that tide's still moving pretty decent. So I typically, when the tide's running like this, I'm not a big fan, but we got nothing else to do, so we're gonna try it. So that's the first keeper in the boat.
Nice job, Captain.
Last one in the water.
We're gonna be on the wrong side.
Don't be touching no arrows.
I think we're on the wrong
You
side
had
of the
your
ledge.
chance.
Not really. You got to set up on the wrong side of the ledge. Oh, that's just a red grouper.
Tony's in the back.
Oh, God. Ain't no shame in my game, baby.
Little red grouper.
You drag on there?
Why are you chewing bubble gum?
His lip. That's that.
Nice, yeah. Keeper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 24?
Hey, come on,
Hey,
Yeah,
baby.
it
You got
is.
to measure that.
Come on, Chad.
I'm from Missouri.
Hey.
I'm up. You have to show me that. I don't like it. Now you can throw it on the floor.
Chad's always hating.
Chad, you see those
Hate.
Now, if I were you, I'd have pitched that rail before I shot. 22. I would have accidentally dropped in the water. That would have been me. Especially the way you
Not
fly.
the scale, right?
Huh?
The fish.
Yeah.
The fish.
This tide's starting to slow down, so I've dropped down to, I think I'm on a 1/4 ounce Huggy. What?
I don't know what that was coming out of the water. They came way out. It was really big.
Really?
And it wasn't a
God.
there, did it again.
How far out?
See where the marker is?
Yeah.
Look to the left of the marker. To the island, the left side of the island. Just
Oh yeah, I just did it again.
I don't know if it's a spinner or
It's probably a spinner shark, yeah.
what you got.
Probably a gag. Nope, red. Red. Not a bad little red. Yep.
Hey, old mangrove likes to really end up too, right?
Do what?
Mangrove likes to use it.
We're gonna have to turn that off. It's called copyright. That was weird.
It was really. I was thinking, oh, there's the tarpon he just stuck it out. Were you coming in good? And then
It got really heavy.
Come, man.
hey, I'll get a discount on that.
Basically, right now, guys, what we're doing is I'm using a 1/4 ounce Huggy. I think that's what Chad was using too, right? 1/4 ounce Huggy.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. And using a piece of cut bait. Chad, what were you using? Cut bait. I just told Chad, I said, I put a live bait down there and I got thumped, and I got thumped hard, and I'm like, oof, I don't even want to set the hook on that fish. And then he hooked something, and we don't know what it was. It got, whatever he was fighting got eaten, but we don't know if it was a shark or what.
Oh, there's something down in the dig, though. I think before we got to the bottom, and just
Woo, look at that monster. Hit the snot out of it. All right, folks, what I've done now is I've gone to our slacker jig, an 1/8 ounce, because the tide is pretty much dead now, and just caught a gag. And so when people ask me all the time, you know, what size weight do you use in the bay? And it just depends on tidal situation. 90% of the time we're using 1 or 1 1/4, and then as the tide slows down, we start dropping weight. Like we drop from, actually I dropped from a 2 ounce to a 1/4 relatively pretty quick, and then from a 1/4 I went down to the 1/8, and we're using that right now, or I'm using that right now. I love using the light stuff, especially trying to target bigger snapper inside the bay. We're sitting on some pretty good rock piles, and I'm going to show you that on the fish reveal to show you how detailed it is in the bay on these rock piles, and how you can know when you can position your boat on the actual structure or away from the structure. So like right now we're pretty much on top of the structure because of the way the tide is not moving, so I can get us on the structure instead of being away from the structure. So we're sitting in 48 feet of water. There's a show of snapper off the bottom. So I'm counting it down to about 5, which gives me 40 feet. And then I start just handling it by hand. Well, what's happening now, folks, is this tide is actually, I explained this, I haven't explained this in a long time, but what's happening is this tide is slack on top, but it's actually moving out underneath. So we've learned that when the tide is going slack inside the bay, what happens is it actually starts to turn underneath like 5 or 6 feet, maybe even a little deeper underneath than it does on top. So it looks like it's absolutely dead on top, but actually we can tell by the way our jigs are moving that the tide is starting to go out because our jigs are starting to come back towards us. So it's pretty interesting. We've learned that over the years, and when you're chumming, you want to... Oh. Are we hooked up together?
No.
I think we are.
Fight them. Y'all fight each other.
Yours is big.
Mine's dinky.
Mine's at least respectable.
But I actually have a fish on? Oh my god.
A little dinky one.
That's... Alright, let me get my fish. Come on, man. Hurry up. But anyway, what I was saying is it's tide, and now the boat is kind of starting to turn that way. So it's pretty interesting how that works, is that, and I can almost see a tide rip right there. You good? I thought you said I had a fish on. Oh. So anyway, the tide underneath is going this way, but on top it's actually slack and not moving. So it's really interesting how that works inside the bay. Well, folks, we made it back to the dock. As you can see in the background, there's some heavy weather coming in, which is ultimately the decision that we made this morning. Was we kept seeing the winds pick way up and the storms and everything else, and everything changed overnight. And my gut, if you don't follow your gut, because my gut's always better than what my heart says. My heart wanted to go, but my gut was like, don't Todd, don't Todd, don't Todd. So that's what we did. We fished the bay, we caught some fish, had fun, had some laughs. Tony sucked it up again. Poor Tony. He did good. But we caught some snapper, caught a ton of grouper. Lost some. Yeah, a lot of red grouper. Lost some nice grouper. So we had a fun day. It was quick. It is 12:11 right now. So it's coming in early, which I kind of said on the show yesterday that it would be afternoonish. I said late afternoon, but I lied a little bit. But it's coming in, that's why we decided to go. But always kind of look and watch your weather and make sure you don't get stuck in it. And because it's been a long time since we've been stuck in anything, and I won't do that to Chad or Tony or myself. But anyway, also on what I was talking about on the fish reveal, I want to show this really quick where one of the spots we were fishing. As you can see on the screen, there's a lot of rock piles in this area. And so I set up in the middle of the rock piles. We were fishing on a slow, almost slack tide at this point. So I set up on top of the rocks. We were using quarter ounce and 1/8 ounce slackers and 1/4 ounce huggies to get the bait down. We caught snapper, we caught grouper. So using that fish reveal, as you can see on the Navionics compared to the fish reveal, the Navionics doesn't show the rocks where the fish reveal does. That's how precise and that's how much more definition there is to the fish reveal. And it's only going to get better simply because they're going to have very high-end machines being able to scan the bottom that will pick up a 7-centimeter object in 80 feet of water. Plus, on top of everything else that they're doing with the app, it's going to turn into something that is going to be a great tool, especially for old fishermen like myself and new fishermen. So if you haven't checked out Fish Reveal, please check them out. We were supposed to have Ron with Siberian Coolers on today, and unfortunately the weather, he wanted to go offshore and the weather just was not going to dictate it. So we called it for him, and we're going to take him out another day. They were a very good supporter of ours. And Siberian Coolers, you can check them out.
The new Alpha Pro Series from Siberian Coolers leads the pack with unrivaled innovation and ice retention. A new sleek streamlined design makes the Alpha Pro Series coolers virtually indestructible and extremely versatile. Constructed with thick walls up to 2 3/4 inches of insulation and made from extremely durable components. Be the Alpha, own the Alpha. Siberian Coolers, proven beyond.
So again, I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching. We really, really appreciate it. fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.